Hi, welcome back to our Sproutable Q&A. This week we have a question from a parent who is expecting a new baby and wants to know, how soon do I prepare big sibling? This is a fantastic question. We get this all the time. Thank you so much for sending it in. I would say it is never too soon to start preparing. Whenever you feel comfortable letting the big sibling know that the baby is on the way should also be when you're comfortable telling the whole world. Because as soon as you let the big sibling know, they are going to be so excited to share it with everyone else. Once you've told them that the baby is on the way, then this is a fantastic time to start preparing. I like to recommend that you also get them their own baby doll that they can practice bathing, that they can practice changing their diaper, that they can change their clothes, just doing lots of role play, playing family, caring for the baby, and really getting them into that role of big sibling, that they have a job. One of the reasons that I love positive discipline so much is that it has a deeply rooted foundation in Adlerian psychology. And one of the key pieces of Adlerian psychology is this underlying need for all human beings to have significance and belonging. Significance meaning I matter, I can contribute, and belonging meaning I'm connected to others. So even if the sibling is 1 or 2, letting them know that they matter and they can contribute in a meaningful way is really powerful preparation for when the baby comes. For some families, if you don't know when you're going to get the call that the baby that you're adopting is there, you can be preparing for a long time. That's okay too. That builds a lot of resilience and flexibility and an extra time for practice. So why is it important to start soon? As much as we think nothing is going to change when the baby comes or we can do a lot of preparation, there is a dynamic shift in the family when another human being enters. So as much as control and as much practice as you can give the older sibling ahead of time, it really sets them up for those expectations and for the practice. So a few things that are helpful, especially to consider whether any rooms need to be changed around, whether the big sibling is going to be moving out of a crib. Thinking about those things well in advance will help set them up for feeling on solid ground when the baby comes in. The other thing to prepare for is the time that the new baby takes. And I know it's super Captain Obvious here, but when that baby comes in, there's so much time that the baby consumes with feeding, with holding, with changing their diaper. And that time, that view that the older sibling sees is significant. And so what happens, as Adlerian psychology tells us, is that kids are good perceivers and they are poor interpreters. So they are observing this baby getting picked up all the time, held all the time, fed all the time, and their interpretation is that this baby is really important. And so in order to be important, I need to act like a baby. But if you've prepared the big sibling all the way leading up to this, that they are so important and significant as that big sibling, they won't need to exhibit those types of baby behaviors as much. So what I hear time and time again from parents is they'll say, my toddler has regressed since the new baby has come in. And I like to think of it not as regression at all, but as a new stage of their development. It's their behavior that they are figuring out for how to be in this new family dynamic. So if they haven't been prepared to be a big sibling, then their default is to be a baby because that's what's looking really important in this family. So don't think of it so much as regression as a new behavior that's emerging in response to the new family dynamic. So when they're exhibiting some of those behaviors like whining or having accidents, we want to stay solution focused. Instead of going backwards and saying, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like a baby? Why are you doing this? Stay solution focused. Remind them that they are capable. Give them lots of time for practice. Make a plan around the accidents, cleaning it up, saying you can do this, practicing on the potty, tightening up those routines. When they're whining, saying, I see you, I notice you, you're trying to ask me for something. Tell me in your 3-year-old way, or tell me in your big voice, tell me in your strongest voice. What can you do? And then immediately redirecting them to something of significance. Can you help me give the baby a bath? Can you hold the bottle for the baby? Can you push this button on the pump so that I can pump the milk for the baby? Can you pick out the special onesie for the baby? Can you go get your baby and feed your baby while we feed this baby as well? So think about those other ways that they can immediately feel like they can contribute, that they are seen and that they matter. And it's helpful when they can be in charge of creating the family manual for the baby. So this can be as simple as helping them draw a little bit of pictures. You can write out the words, but letting them be their guide. You can even take a video of them giving the tour of the house or explaining what they do. So you could do this ahead of time as a little guide or a little project that you make together for some of the rules of the house, but could also be in a really sweet tour guide type of way when the baby is brought home, or if you're already at home, having the big sibling be the one to say, here's where you're going to sleep, here's where we're going to give you your bath, here's where we're going to sit and have dinner as a family, telling the baby, how do we eat dinner? What are some of the expectations and manners that we have at dinner time? Showing baby letting them show baby where they are going to be sleeping, having them share with baby what their routine is, letting them know, first I brush my teeth and then I put my jammies on, and it's really important to stay in my bed until the light turns green. Letting them really share that with baby can be really powerful for them too, to feel like they're really the ones that are introducing them and including them into the family culture. And then of course that connection time is really important as well. So making sure you still have special time when the baby comes. This is how you can prepare ahead of time by establishing that special time, establishing when it is each day or that one time a week that's really special, and then keeping that consistent after baby comes as well. The other reason why it's really important to prepare and grow this big sibling just while you're growing the baby or expecting the new baby as well is that it's not just about those first few weeks or first few months after the baby comes. So yes, the first 3 weeks are total chaos and you are in the trenches and you're just surviving. And then you start to get into that rhythm after 3 to 4 weeks. Then at 6 to 8 weeks, the baby has some dips in their own development. They're crying a lot more. The witching hour gets worse. Their hormones are still raging postpartum. And then you get to 3 months and you're just coming out of the woods a little bit and you think, okay, we're in the clear. But then 5 months down the road, 6 months down the road, even a year down the road, there still can be some after effects with that big sibling. So I get this all the time where parents will tell me that they're seeing a lot of increase in challenging behaviors, tantrums, power struggles, separation anxiety at school. And they're like, but the baby came 6 months ago. It can't just still be related. Or, well, the baby was born 3 months ago. That can't be related. It is still related. They are still adjusting to their new dynamic. They're still growing developmentally. Their brain is still developing. They're going through their own increased stages of big emotions, right brain development. It is all related. Remember also at this stage, the baby is coming online. So by 6 months, the baby is now babbling, the baby is sitting up, the baby is eating food, the baby is potentially crawling even and getting into their stuff. So it's even worse for the older sibling because they're not just laying around sleeping all the time. Now they're really taking up more space. Now they're really shining and they're getting a lot of attention from the other grown-ups as well. They're getting into their toys, they're breaking down their Legos. And so they're gonna get more frustrated as well. This is going to be a great time and an opportunity for you to start to teach those beautiful skills about being in relationship with each other. You can start to teach them how to communicate with each other, to say, that frustrates me when you break down my Legos and I need you to be gentle with my things. It helps build those problem-solving skills of what can we do to keep it out of baby's reach so that baby doesn't get into it as much. There's a lot of opportunity for growth. No matter where you are in your timeline, it's never too early and it's never too late to help prepare the big sibling for being a big sibling. It really is setting a foundation, no matter where you begin, for those healthy family systems and for growing into a whole decade plus of skills needed for healthy sibling relationships. So remember to help them feel like they matter, they can contribute, and that their role in the family is just as important. Remember too, there's a distinction between the big sibling being the one in charge or older, or you have higher expectations, versus letting them be a team player. So we say letting kids, keep them in the same boat, really encouraging each of them to work as a team. And that can start from the very beginning when baby comes home, for how to start to work together as a team. How do we all help each other? How are we helpful, not hurtful? Another really important thing that can help ahead of time for baby is to really practice being gentle. I get this question a lot from parents that say that the older toddler loves the baby so much that they are really rough. They squeeze them so much. They just want to touch them, especially kids that have some sensory things going on. They really want that tactile experience. Babies are so cute. We all want to really squish them. So taking some time and practice, again, role play, practice, do this physical practice of being gentle with a baby, touching the baby very gently. When the baby is sleeping, how do we act? So really playing into and practicing how to physically be with the baby as well can be helpful. So thank you so much for sending this question in. It's so important. Again, it's never too early. It's never too late. And we have lots of other resources to help support your growing family and siblings. Thank you so much for sending this question in, and we will see you next time. Real moments are learning moments.